There we go. Yes, I'm in sandals. So got the drive shaft in. The shuttering's gone. Well, the drive shaft shutter's gone anyway. There's still some shuttering going on. I don't know if you'll be able to recognize it or not. Like right now, the truck is shuttering. If you can power through it, you go off the gas, it obviously goes away. So I'm hoping that it's just a motor mount or something. I haven't got over there to look at it yet. I did, but I did take a close look at it. So, and it does it every time, right around that RPM range, right around that speed. Like I said, you can either power through it, or you can actually not make it to where it won't happen too. If you just go slow enough. So like I'm going slow enough now, and it won't shutter. My buddy's F350 did the exact same thing. So probably a pretty common problem with them. I don't know. I'm new to the diesel game, obviously. Like right now, it's just started shuttering. Once you get up to speed, it doesn't do it. I just put a new drive shaft on it because the old one was totally screwed. It was vibrating the whole time.
What's up with y'all?
Trying to figure out what's wrong with this truck, man. Because I'm not paying a diesel mechanic. I'm now a diesel mechanic, so I gotta learn as I go.
Sup, nerds? You say?
It almost, like if it was a gas car, I would say that it's like it's missing. I'll tell you what it does. It's doing it right now. It's like shuttering. It's almost like it's a miss. But you can power through it, and it stops. You come off the gas, and it stops. So that's what we're trying to figure out. Like right now, it's doing it. It's almost like I can hear it. Does the motor sound different to you? The exhaust? Like right there with a shutter like that? Like right there. If it was a gasoline car, I would say it sounds, it acts and sounds just as if it was a gasoline car missing. Had one cylinder missing at that speed. That's exactly how it acts. Gas and it stops doing it. So obviously it's a driveline issue. It's only under power when it doesn't. It'll be fun. Gonna be figuring it out. Yeah, I'm now a diesel mechanic. For y'all that didn't know. What you need in an ATM? Pop. One thing about a big truck, it's bad, is they're harder. They make all these, if you look around, all the parking spaces are made for compact cars. They're not made for big trucks to pull in. So I suggest you just do what I do. You take up 5 parking spots. At least 3. Here, I'm gonna go and get some pop stuff.
Okay.
But I gotta figure out what the shuttering is. What's going on with it. I don't think diesels can miss. But then again, it's untelling. I guess they could miss if an injector was bad or something. So that's the next thing we got to figure out. Like I found a camper top for the back of the truck. I got to go get it in the morning, more than I wanted to pay for it because money is going really fast, a lot faster than I expected. It is what it is, though. Yeah, we've had a lot. Poor planning is why. In all honesty. Planning could have been better, but then on some of the things that we couldn't plan better. It was reliant on other people. It is what it is. We just got to make it work. Christy thinks we should still buy a camper. A camper's a lot of money. You're talking, even if you spend, there's all kinds of problems with buying campers. Number one, I'm not a camper expert. I'm about to become a camper expert, I think. Just like I'm now a diesel expert. Number two, I don't know. I don't know. I'm questioning it now. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should just follow through with the plan as it was. Follow through. But either way, we're out of here tomorrow. We're going somewhere. I think we're going north. I have a buddy that lives north of me about 2 hours, and He's got a bunch of stuff around his house he needs done. He doesn't know this stuff. I got to talk him into like buying the parts and stuff so we can fix the shit around his house. Hang out there for a couple days maybe. Find a camper. Because the problem with camper is you still need electrical water hookups. I guess I can buy a generator. More money, another $1,000 for it at least. I have a number in my head I will not go under when it comes to the money like we have. And once we hit that number, we're where we're at. I will not transfer any more money or none of that shit. So we gotta get going with whatever it is that we're doing. But we had to have a camper show at least. Number one, before we buy a camper, we gotta have a place to put all of our shit. You know, we got 4 people. Everybody has a big tote or 2. I have 1 big tote and a little bit small tote. Everybody else has 2 totes. Christy has her makeup stuff because she has to still continue to do school. Can't get wet. Although the totes are semi-waterproof, they're not waterproof. So we need a camper for the back. Plus, I'm going to jerk the back window out of this thing, jerk the front window out of the camper, and put a boot in there. Before I can do that, I need a camper. I need a camper so I can haul the glass around so it doesn't get broke. So I can put it back in at a later date. Fun. Enjoying life. Used, of course. What's used? My camper or the shell? The top is. Dude, the things are expensive. To get a plain Jane one, which is actually what I wanted. I wanted the plainest version there was. So I wanted a front. That's a lie. I wanted the front window to have a slider, just in case I decide not to pull the windows out, which I'm probably going to pull the windows out regardless. It's just a pain in the ass to put them out, taking them out, and put them in. These windows are kind of a pain in the ass to put in. They're not like the old Chevy ones. They're real simple. Old Ford are real simple. They put these, the bullshit ass seals in them now, or it's a bunch of bullshit. What was I going to say? Used. Oh, but a new camper shell, a plain Jane, no windows on the side, just opens in the back, straight glass in the front with no slider, is about $1,600. Now, you can find them for $50. I've seen them for $30 on the internet, all kinds of them, 8 foot long. But there's a problem with that. I don't have an 8 foot long bed. I have a 7 foot long bed, depending on who you ask. Ford says it's a 7 foot. It actually measures 82.8 inches according to Ford. Some people call it a 6.5. Some people call it a 6 3/4. So I was very specific with the guy about what I have, and he's the only one within somebody else has one, but they're assholes, and I told them to kick rocks this morning. They were a couple $100 cheaper, but they want to keep blowing me off, and I don't have time to be blowed off. People's time is valuable. When you're selling something, the people's time that you're selling to is as valuable as your own, especially if they want to buy something. So don't put something up for sale that you're not ready to sell, or you don't have time to show, or you can't be there till Monday. I know that if you can't be there till Monday, and you put it up now, you're going to get people talking about it and people calling about it and shit. But there's people like me that are serious about buying something, and I don't have the time to waste. The guy that has the camper I'm going to go look at and probably buy tomorrow. I'm going to buy it. I have to buy it. I don't have an option. He wants $500 for it, I think. Yeah, he wants $550 for it. And I told him, I was like, when I first started talking to him, I was like, that's a little much for me, man. I'll spend a couple $100 on one, and that's what they're going for. You can find brand new Lear campers that cost $1,600 going for $100. The problem is, though, is my truck. I don't have a common bed size. It's not a long bed. I didn't want a long bed. I would like to have a long bed for the functionality of a long bed. I don't want a long bed because it adds another 2 feet to the truck. Overall, another 18 inches or something. Bed length's like another 12 inches, but it winds up adding. The wheelbase is a 165-inch wheelbase. I think it's 165. The long bed is 172, but then you add on another 12 inches for the bed or whatever. It don't matter. So that's where I'm at. I'm stuck, but it's because of poor planning. I did it to myself. A hubby for selling the snowblower. He was like, "Fuck you, first come, first serve." Yeah, I mean, that's another thing. Don't hold on to shit either. If you're going to hold on to something, make people put a deposit down. And with the technology we have available today, people can wire you money across the country. When I agreed to buy this truck, I only had cash on me. The guy said he didn't want a deposit, which to me meant that I still can look around, because you can still sell it to somebody else. This is a good truck. It just needs a little work. The problem with these older trucks isn't the mileage. It isn't the rust. It's that people don't maintain them because they're expensive to maintain. So like I won't be driving this truck as a daily driver. Travis has a car that he's going to sell to me.
That was right there, wasn't it?
He told me what he wanted for. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they go for. I haven't looked. I'm sure I want to buy it from him though for Christy because she needs a car. She's getting ready to get her license back. Yay, Christy! Everybody clap. Christy's getting her license back. Why are you getting
Not
her?
by choice.
Yeah, I'm making her get her license back because that's not my hill to die on. Not yet, anyway. Not as one of the middle bumps.
So you make it.
Huh?
So you're making my decisions too.
Huh?
You're making my decisions too.
Yeah. Because your decisions affect me.
I see.
We did get the brakes working on this thing. The brakes were shit on this thing. On the F-250, the brakes are big enough to where it should stop the truck. And this thing didn't want to stop anything. It was because the back two calipers wasn't working. I noticed the new brake line on the truck, and the guy didn't bleed it right. Most people don't know when you bleed brake lines start from the wheel that is furthest away from the master cylinder.
The LR is here.
So in the United States, it's the right rear, left rear, right front, left front. That's how you bleed brakes. A lot of people don't know that. I don't know why. I don't know how I learned, but they don't know.
Missy asked, so Freedom, so you're only buying a pool camper?
I'm buying a camper top for the truck. You see how the shutter, you see all this vibration? That's my truck shutter. And all it does is in one spot. Like right now it's fine. Now it's shuttered. I can power through it or I can let off the gas and it'll stop. There's probably a broken motor mount, is what I'm hoping. I've never heard of these things breaking motor mounts like that, but it's kind of what it feels like. It's either a broken motor mount or something going on. I don't know. I cruised down the interstate yesterday. I drove 70 all the way home from Dayton yesterday. It was fine. It was doing that shutter, but I just had to figure out what it is. Like I said, my buddies at 350 did the exact same thing. Exactly 100% the same thing. And I don't know. But this thing's evil. I had it on the stock tune, and it's got a ton of power. I mean, it don't have any blow by. It cranks evenly. All the cylinders got pretty even compression. The truck hasn't been abused. There's not a bunch of cut off wires and shit. There's not a bunch of shit missing under the hood like you are normally on these trucks. And I did find out it takes 15 quarts of oil.
Oh, guess what?
Right.
So Maya, while I was in there, Dale does not agree with what Maya did and told her she better never do it again.
Yeah.
Even on the day, like literally when she was ready to go out to eat, told her. Now, I don't know.
Dale was on these things.
Huh?
Ran from Prince. This is what Chris is talking about.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, this just feels weird. I wish you guys could feel it. Obviously you can't, but I'm gonna have to figure out what this is because it shouldn't be vibrating at all. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna have to start talking to people, forums and shit, trying to figure out what's going on with it.
Larson just walked outside to get the mail, and that groundhog took off into the barn. Just can't get that one.
Y'all, you can get him. You gotta go camera down, get out there and gilly some shit. He's got a ton of power. Just gotta figure out why it has that vibration.
Dang, mine only takes 10.
Could be something stupid. I don't know if these things have a harmonic balancer on them.
Seat, motor, shutter at low RPM when turbos are acting up. That's what.
Right, but it's not. But it's not like that. I know what you're saying. I don't think it's a turbo issue because I have thought about that. It's almost like I said, it feels exactly. If you ever had a car miss a gasoline car, it feels just like during that little period of RPM range and speed. It feels like a gasoline car would feel if it had a dead cylinder, if it was missing on one cylinder.
He said, shame you're not here. Could get Brandon to look at it.
What will be that? What are you doing? Can I park before you get out? That's the second time you've done that today. Next time I'll run your ass over.
Run me over then. I didn't even step out. I opened the door, goofy. Run my ass over. I dare you.
You'll be dead.
I triple dog dare you.
I got you. Try to jump out of the car before it stops. Yeah, I thought about that though. That maybe it was a turbo issue or something, man. But it's not. It. I can work around. It's why I don't think it is. Um, like I said, I can power through it, or I can just let off the gas and it stops immediately. So it's a drivetrain issue. Like I said, hopefully it's just a broken motor mount or something. I need to climb under there tonight. When I'm looking for stuff under cars, I do it at nighttime with a flashlight because then instead of all the shit, seeing all the shit, I'm focusing in on one thing. So I'll climb under here tonight, look at it, and see what I'm looking for. I don't know if these got harmonic balancers on them or not. I don't know. Hopefully it's not something like a torque converter or something. Because if that happens, I'm jerking the transmission out. We're gonna put a 5-speed in it. Wife's gonna be mad, so spend the money. Is what it is. But it's a cool truck. I'm happy with it, man. I'm happy with what I paid for it. For the time, I don't think it's definitely not worth what I paid for it. But for the time, what I got was way better than what I could have got at another place. Except for the fact that as soon as I bought it, I seen 10 trucks that were the exact truck I was wanting. This is the exact truck I was wanting, with the exception that it doesn't have a manual transfer case in it. Nobody makes a kit to convert this to a manual. I think I could possibly fabricate something to make it a manual, or I could spend $150 on a manual transfer case for it, because I found one in Indiana for $150. Um, I don't like the electronic shit. I don't know how that would affect the PCM on it. I have to do some more reading up. I don't know if I have to change the PCM out with it, because like everything in these trucks, even this truck, everything's electronic, even though it's a 2002, but because it's a diesel. You know, one's a plow truck. I knew that when I looked at it before I even talked to the dude, because of the mounts on the front of it, and then it also has a solenoid on each fender um, for a plow at one time. But it's been taken care of for the most part. It seems to be anyway. It drives good. It's just I have that little shutter. That's my only complaint right now. If it wasn't for that, it doesn't leak shit. Um, it doesn't use shit. It doesn't burn oil. It doesn't. Well, I don't know if it does or not actually. But it doesn't leak anything. There's no oil in the valley of the motor. There hasn't been any mods done to the motor at all. It's factory injectors, factory turbo. It hasn't even had the crossover mod done on it, the high pressure crossover line that everybody does to these, because it's a cheap mod, like $50. I'm actually going to order the parts tonight and have it sent to my buddy's house in Columbus if he doesn't care, and probably do that mod this week. There's a lot of cheap mods you can do to these trucks to get horsepower out of them. Like this one came with a tuner. Um, I have it on the tow tune right now, even though I'm not towing, because of the shift parameters and shit. It shifts a little better. All the pressure output's been jumped 15% across the board on all the shifts, and it runs good. You can definitely tell the 65 horsepower difference. These trucks are low horsepower. That's why they last so long. They're built out of forged parts. They're low power. They got like 250 horsepower stock, 400 foot-pounds of torque, and you can start doing shit to them and get them up to 1,000 foot-pounds of torque and 800 or 900 horsepower if you wanted to. I'm not. That's not my intent. I don't need to go fast. I don't. The Once these trucks get up to about 100 mile an hour, the turbo's spinning so fast it'll start blowing the boots and shit off the intercooler, off the turbo. So I'm looking at all his parameters in it. Um, he staged the mile per hour at 100, meaning the truck will shut off at 100 miles an hour. I turned it down to 90, 92, I think is what I turned it down to. Shifts are, red lines at 3,500. You can change all that shit with that damn thing. I got a code for a um, exhaust pressure, exhaust back pressure, which is a common thing on this truck. You have to take they have a delete kit for it, or you can just take it apart and clean it, which is probably what I'm going to do. I'm not going to start deleting shit. I won't add to it, but I won't delete shit, because I'm not a diesel mechanic yet. Although I am a professional diesel mechanic now, because I own a diesel truck and I only work on my own shit unless it's my Grand Prix. Then I send it to the shop where it sits parked as it is right now. This you're right. I was mentioning that earlier. It will be limited options 100% here. It will limit their options more than 50. What are you talking about? What was said? I'm sorry, I missed it. I was saying that with y'all buying a topper for the truck, you'll only be able to pull a bumper stock camper because fifth wheel gooseneck goes to. Right, Missy. I thought about that too, and I'm going to tell you why I'm going to do a bumper pull. Um, Number one, I don't see the benefit in a fifth wheel. Maybe there is. Maybe I just don't know of one. I know the turning radius. You can make the turning radius a little. You know, you can get them in tighter places and shit like that. Um, I know they pull a little better, but then you also have to consider this. I'm about to show you. So this truck has a 2010 bed on it. If I was to buy a 2010 bed and put on a F250, I would put a gooseneck in it. But somebody didn't do that. So my options are to, I think I can buy a gooseneck plate for this. I think I can even buy a fifth wheel plate for this that'll go over. I know the fifth wheel will that'll go over top of the bed. I could put a gooseneck hideaway in it. It already has the spot for it in the center of the bed, as you see right. I'll find out where my hand's at right there. Um, so I could unbolt the bed, put the gooseneck on it, put the bag back on it, do a fifth wheel conversion to a gooseneck. Or I could spend $1,000 on oh, look at this guy. This dude's cool. Cool all day. He's jamming. He's jamming. He's dancing and shit on his motorcycle. And the other thing about that is I'm not going to have a camper on all the time. I tell you what I do need to do. If somebody wants to learn something and you have a garage with 220 in it, I need to build a rack for this thing. 2 racks. Number one, a rack for the top. Most likely, it will run from the top of the bed rail along the cab of the truck, down the windshield. It'll cut over down here, and then bolt to the welder bolt to the front bumper. Probably bolt it. And then I need a second rack I have to build that is going to go up. So it'll go up, right, all the way up. Right, it'll stand up with a 350-pound quad on it, relatively or mostly by itself. So it's going to be spring assisted. And then I want it to lay down even with the top of the bed, so I can drive a four-wheeler up on it, put the first four-wheeler up on top of the cab, put it back down, drive the second four-wheeler up, put the second four-wheeler up on it, lift it up, and then still have room to put the camper on underneath of that. That way, we'll be able to take all of our shit with us. Some states allow you to pull two trailers, so you can have a camper and a trailer behind it. I just seen an enclosed trailer last night. I should have bought the damn thing. It was an 8x7x10, something like that. It was a smaller trailer, but the dude only wants $600 for it or something, $600 or $800. I should have bought the damn thing just to flip it. And I've been seeing shit like that lately that I can buy and make money off of that just needs a little bit of work or this or that, but I don't have a place to do it at. If I had a place, I'd be trying to make some extra money right now, but I just don't have nowhere to do it at right now. So that be the problem, as they say. Here comes the dancing fool on the motorcycle again. Look out! Look how cool this dude is. Watch him jamming. He's bobbing his head and shit. I should throw a stick at him. See how cool he was? I hope he wrecks, just so he learns a lesson in life. Just so he learns a little lesson in life. He's riding around with his knee on the seat, dancing. Look at them big ass dogs. 2 big ass Saint Bernards. So that's the thing. I won't be unhappy with the bumper pull. I'd be cool with that. It doesn't matter. With the bumper pull, we could actually take more stuff. Even if I don't know. I don't think I can get the Banshee in here sideways. It won't. We'll get it to where we're going. If I had to wind up taking the cap off, throwing it on top of the camper, and ratchet strapping that bitch to the top of the camper, that's what we'll do. We're redneck. That's how we do it. We'll even throw a kid up in there and let him go sleep on the way. Hope he doesn't hit a damn overpass. I wouldn't really do that. But it is what it is. It is what it is. This thing does need bigger tires on it. It needs something. It don't look right at all. It just doesn't look right to me, and it doesn't look right to my wife, which is most important because she's the money maker. is not the money maker, but this little thing right here is my problem. This little right here. Just if there's just that much more bed there, I could get one for cheap. But anywho, welcome to my day. That's what we do. I want to put them. I'll take the hubs with me to Columbus and put those on up there because they're just a quick put on. I don't think I'll be needing four-wheel drive anytime soon. And like the problem with the truck was is I needed every option that was most expensive. So like I could have got one of these trucks for $5,000 in good shape, $5,000, full-wheel drive, single cab, two-wheel drive even cheaper, $2,500. But then you start adding options, so full-wheel drive makes it worth a little more money. Crew cab really ups the value of it. If it was a long bed, it'd actually be worth a little more. But they still sell them for the same price. They're all going for around $10,000 where I live at. And like I said, you'll never find one where I live at. But there's zero rust on this bed. I'll tell you what I actually like to have is a flatbed. That's what I'd actually like to put on it. But that's, to find a single wheel 7-foot flatbed that's going to be damn near impossible. And a new one's $3,000, and I'm not willing to invest $3,000 into a bed. But that's what I'd really like to have is a single wheel flatbed on here, just because they look good and they're functional. Like especially when you get any kind of lift. I mean, like right now I can't lift 30 pounds over this bed rail. You know what I mean? If I had to grab something from inside and pull it out, I can't lift 30 pounds over it. So unless I got a kid with me, then now I'm jumping up and down the back of my truck all the time, which is why I have my little step stool right yonder. Right yonder. But I'm happy with it, I guess. But like, look how big of a dipshit some people are. So common sense would tell you that something is not right here. That should be under that mirror. Now this dude, here's what's scary about this. This dude worked at a parts store, so it's lined up back here. It's where it's supposed to be here, but it's over top of the mirror here. So the wind can catch it and it'll wind up ripping it off. This one back here is not the right spot. It's too far back. There's nothing you can do about it now. These little things right here are lovely. If you own a car, you should have these on them. I have them on all my, well, I don't have them on PT Cruiser. I have them on the Grand Prix, and I have them on this, and I've had them on every other car I've owned but the PT Cruiser because I just don't want to put no money in it. But if you don't have these for your car, get them. You would not realize the comfort that these give you in a car. Pouring down rain and it's hot out, these come in handy. Pouring down rain and it's hot in the car, but you have the AC on, these come in handy. Have a smoker in the car that if you allow people to smoke in your car, these come in handy. These things right here are the shit. Look, he did the same shit on this side. Why? Well, look how retarded you got to be. Look, he didn't even pull the sticky shit off the back side of it either. That's the kind of person you're dealing with. But it is what it is. Traded. This will probably wind up being trading for a car or something when he turns 16. He's 15 years old. I've been talking to him about he needs to start saving for a car. So that is what I think his goal is next. He doesn't know what he wants to drive though because he's so into games. He hasn't paid attention like Silas has. Silas knows what he wants. Silas said, "Dad, that's my truck." So whatever, buddy. Maybe. Help me work on it. If you get it perfect, then you can drive it. He's like, okay, which he doesn't understand what that means. Which really, this truck don't need a lot of work to be almost perfect. The inner rockers are rusted out on both sides. Not a big deal. Really, it's not a big deal if it needs cab corners and shit. It's not a big deal for me. I mean, they're easy to cut out and tack up and weld in. You just got to take your time and do it slow, and don't do one constant bead. Just spot weld it. I wish you would have took a little more time with this black paint job. He painted these bumpers right here are expensive. You can't find them that are not dinged up. These bumpers don't have any dings in them at all that I can tell with the black paint on it. I looked, but they're chrome under them, and they look smooth, so you don't see any chips of the chrome. Like this front bumper, I've seen it go for $400 being chrome. And look at it. Look at all the chips and shit in it. Where he painted over chrome. I guess just because he wanted it to look black all the way around it. So what I'm going to do is the interior of the bed needs to be rhino lined. If it's not, um, I just like the rhino lined shit for a lot of reasons. The main reason being is that shit doesn't move around in a rhino lined bed. Like this stuff, all this stuff back here, will find its way somewhere else in the bed. I don't want it. I want it to stay put, and Rhino Line does that. I don't know what they charge for that. I'm assuming it's probably a few $100. But when they do, everything that you see that's black is also going to get Rhino Line. So we'll remove these guards, remove those, remove the other side, Rhino Line the entire bed on the inside, all the way up to about right here over the rail. We'll have them do the whole bottom, inside and out, up over the fender wells, whole bottom, up over the fender wells, and have them Rhino Line hole underneath of the cab and bed, and then it's good forever. And then it's about keeping it running. And you figure like these trucks are well maintained, they'll easily go 500,000 miles. That's like common knowledge. They're 500,000 mile motors. But there's a lot of them that go 1,000,000 miles. The ones you never hear about is because people drive them and drive them and drive them and drive them are the 1,000,000 mile motors. Like I said, my buddy's got two of them. The one has, I think, 500,000 on it now almost, and the other one has 300 on it. They just, as long as you maintain them, they run and run and run. And another reason I didn't want to buy my buddy's dually, number one, it needed all the work. If I had a lift, it might have been a little different. I don't though. So in order to change which actually I can get under this and take care of an issue. In order to change the oil pans on these trucks, you have to take the cab off. That's the only way to do it. The one and only way to do it. The cab has to come off. You would think that you could just pull the turbo on it, lift the motor up, and have enough room. No, you still got to unbolt the cab. You got to unbolt the two front cross member bolts, the two front cab bolts, the middle two cab bolts, the back two cab bolts, and lift it all up. Just to change the oil pan, lift the motor, and then change it. I don't have that. Plus, it hadn't been that well maintained. He's not somebody that will go out and spend $400 on maintaining his shit. I added up the money it was going to cost me to buy all the fluids and everything for this thing yesterday, and it was around $250 for the fluids and the filters. It cost me $400 to pay somebody else to do it.
The dog spilled his water everywhere, and they were going to let him sit in it with all of his wet towels in there, and I had to clean it up because Dale had just walked out the door.
Why don't you just ask him for that dog?
I just told my mom, I'm like, will you please? I was like, does he get to come out? And she's like, Christy, he spends most of that time in that cage. And I'm like, tell Carla I will take him.
Yeah.
Like, this is horrible that he just sits.
He's so
lovable. Well, Dale's not here. He just left.
What's the point of having a dog to keep it in the cage all day fucking day? You need to just go in there and tell her you're going to take the dog.
Well, no one's here.
Yeah, then that makes it even better. She can't say no.
Well, I can't just take her dog. I mean, she's the cop caller, so she'll call the police on us, dude.
I just had to prove it's her dog.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying. She's took him to the vet and everything. I'm sure he's
Chip.
Yeah.
We won't chip our animals because we feel like we're doing the devil's work if we do.
But yeah. He spilled water everywhere, so that's what I was doing. I was cleaning it up. They were just going to let him sit in it. And I'm like, no. And then I got him a treat and stuff because he sat and did real good.
Poor puppy dog. He's beautiful, too. He's a beautiful dog. It's Diesel and Nova's brother.
He's got a lot more white than our dogs.
He's bigger, too. Our dogs were the runts of the litter. You know what I mean? Because we didn't get to see him. We just wanted dogs for our kids. And that's how we got our dogs.
Bye, love!
Like right now, they don't shudder, don't miss, there's no vibration. But it's going to be a good work truck. I'm going to work for myself. I don't care if we have to live in a tent and whatever. Hold on. All right, now it's shuddering right now. It's going to shudder. If I let off the gas, it stops immediately. I bet, and I hate saying this, I bet it's a damn converter issue.
What?
So I bet it's a converter issue.
So what does that mean?
It just means I got to replace the converter.
Well, how much is that?
$200. I mean, I ain't got to do it now. Not until it starts shaking shit apart. I don't know. It could be something stupid. It might be a chafed line somewhere. I don't know. I'm not a diesel mechanic. I need a diesel mechanic, Barricade. I know you're watching, bro. I know you're watching right now. You're eating dinner and watching me. I need a diesel mechanic. So once you come visit Cincinnati in the next 12 hours while we're still here, and a diesel mechanic for me.
T says she won't ship hers either. The only job they get is rabies every 3 years.
I mean, but here, why would you, like, even the rabies jab, why even get them that? Now, when's the last time you've seen a rabid animal where you live at? Like, the chance of our animals getting rabies, that shit is so minuscule, I don't even think it's worth the effort to do. I could be wrong, I just don't, Doesn't that smell good? Smell it?
What is it?
I can't even smell it, I can smell it. Diesel fuel, diesel exhaust.
Yeah, I can smell that all the time. I got a better
It
sniffer
does-
than you.
It runs good. I mean, this thing gets up and goes for a 7.3. Way better than my buddies, but it's also programmed for a toe tune right now. I think it's 65 horsepower. And the good thing about that tuner, that SC...
T said a couple years ago had a rabid coon in the dog's yard.
Oh, really? The good thing about that SCT tuner is it tunes the transmission too. It's not just the engine tuner. I'll tell you that. Oh, look at this fucker. He wants to pull up his little fire.
How do you know, like, if they're rabid, they foam at the mouth?
Yeah. They act all crazy.
Like, constantly? Huh?
Yeah, they act all crazy and shit. Well,
Poor rabid coon.
I can get in trouble in this truck speeding because it's got a ton of power for a 7.3. I'm really surprised. Super surprised. But we'll get the crossover mod for it. The exhaust back pressure, I'm probably just going to clean it. There's a mod for it. I won't spend the money. Then there's another mod. It doesn't roll coal either. That's out. The tune is no longer allowing the truck to roll coal. So like that time, it didn't even shutter that time.
Took 5 shots to the head to kill it.
Sweet.
I remember when one of our cats was rabid, but listen what my dad did. He tied it up in a fucking plastic bag and set it at the bottom of the hill, and he stood at the top of the hill and just shot in through the bag. So we didn't know how many times it was going to take to shoot it.
You got the card, by the way.
I just put it in your wallet.
Oh, okay.
When we got back in the truck. But yeah, stood up at the top of the hill and shot down at it, just kept shooting until there was no more freaking out in the bag. You believe that shit?
Yeah.
All of us kids were standing there, and he just pow, pow, pow. I mean, just shooting them off. Cat in the bag, going nuts.
If you guys have any time on your hands and you wanted to research that and find something, let me know. It's just a random shutter. Like I said, it's almost like, I don't know. Probably should have bought a vehicle and do something about it, but I was ready for a diesel. You don't really have a truck unless you have a decent truck. I mean, come on, guys.
What'd you say?
I said you don't really have a truck unless you have a decent truck. So it's not even really a truck. Hey, Barricade Garage, I think turned down my my challenge for him, the truck pull challenge.
Why you say that?
Because he said hell no today when I said something about it.
Oh.
He said hell to the no.
Uh-oh, that's traded.
I think I'm gonna
Yes, sir.
find out his address from his phone number, just pop up at his house one day.
We're literally on the way there now.
Start the Barricade live stream with me.
Yes, what do you
It'll be
want?
fun.
Okay, we're on
I gotta
the
go,
way.
people. We
This
got
way.
to
Like
do
the
something
most.
about feeding
So
our
what does he
children.
want?
For some reason, they think they should be able to eat every day. I can go 2 or 3 days
Okay,
without eating. It doesn't even bother me. I don't even think about it. Man, grown boys, that's all they think about is food.
All right, I'll get
Food,
something.
food, and food.
All right.
I'm just
Okay.
kidding. They need to eat.
No burden.
I don't find anything appealing anymore. You know what I mean? Whether it's nothing, I don't care
Actually, their
anymore. It's
fries
not
were
about
really
what
good,
tastes good. It's
fresh,
about what makes
and
me
so was that
live.
chicken sandwich, let me tell you.
What time is it?
I know, but the chicken sandwich, no, the chicken
And
sandwich.
eating out, listen,
fresh
if you
was
anybody who decides to
really
do
good.
this, you need to figure out a way prior to
I don't know, but I'm not gonna
going
eat that.
wherever. Even though it's a hassle
I'll
and
get
pain in the
something. I don't know.
ass to be able to cook where you're at. Because even if you have to eat out once a day, it's a major extra cost, especially when there's 4 people involved. We can't eat out. We can't eat nothing for less than $30, especially if it's decent food. Like I call Chick-fil-A decent fast food. I know it's not decent, but it's better than McDonald's. I can't wait till we get set up and we can cook and shit because we're not there yet. I wish we could have done this all differently now, looking back on it.
Faye says, I'll cook you up some awesome Puerto Rican food, Freedom. You'll love it.
Sweet. Where do I gotta go?
Iowa, I think.
Iowa? Hey, we might be going up there. Maybe. Maybe. It's shuttering right now. All the gas and stops.
30 to 40 bucks for a family of 4. Yep. That's what Claire said.
Yeah, it's expensive. And if you know, that's $200 a week. Your grocery shopping, way less than that. The problem is the space. You don't have the space to store all the food. You know what I mean? I don't know, we're gonna jump off here. I'll holler at y'all later. Stay safe.
Faye said,